Everyone, also known as Horror Fan for Life, and I have a special reviews for you guys. I am starting a Throwback Thursday movie review special for my channel, and tonight I'm kicking it off with two of my favorite films from the 1980s. These are both comedy films. Both you probably don't know much about, but I love these movies. I watch them every year, um, and they are just a lot of fun. The first movie I'm going to be reviewing is The Sure Thing. This movie was released on March 1st, 1985. It is a romantic road trip comedy that received positive reviews from critics and fans. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. It has a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. It has a 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 92% on Google. This movie had a $4.5 million budget, and it made $18.1 million at the box office. It was directed by the great Rob Reiner and written by Stephen L. Bloom and Jonathan Roberts. And it stars John Cusack, Daphne, Zuniga, Anthony Edwards, Tim Robbins, Nicolette Sheridan, Viveka Lanfors, Lisa Persky, and Sarah Buxton. And this movie is about love, friendship, and trying to get laid, pretty much. And we meet Walter Gibson, played by John Cusack, and we have Lance, played by Anthony Edwards, who are best buds. They just graduated from high school, and they're going to be going off to college. Um, Lance is going to California, and Gib is staying home on the East Coast, and they're both going to miss each other. Uh, Lance tries to convince Gib to come to California, but he doesn't feel that he will get the proper education out in California, so he stays on the East Coast. And so they're off to college. Gib is having problems in his English class, and he meets Allison Bradbury, played by Daphne Zuniga, who agrees to help tutor him so he can get a better grade. Gib has a roommate who, let's just say, um, has a lot of sex with different women, so he's forced to sit out in the hallway most of the time. But he is really into astronomy, Gib is. But he has some cheesy pickup lines, which he actually tries to use on Allison, and it backfires. But these two, uh, they have an argument. They are not getting along, but they both to California. Now, Lance has invited Gib out to California for a sure thing. Now, the sure thing means a girl who will hook up with him, no questions asked, no guilt involved, a sure thing. And that sure thing is Nicolette Sheridan, and she is beautiful. So, while Gib is trying to arrange a ride to go to California, so is an Allison, but for different reasons. She has a boyfriend that lives in California, but in order to get there, she decides to hitch a ride with these people that will give rides to college students if they're going to certain places. But unbeknownst to them, they both arrange the same ride, and so they're stuck with one another heading to California. Now, the couple that pick them up are Gary Cooper, played by Tim Robbins, and Marianne Webster, played by Lisa Persky. Now, this couple are kooky, goofy, but can be fun. But you have Gib and Allison who are at odds because Gib tried to kiss her and put the moves on her. So they're going back and forth. While they're in the car, this vehicle comes by and moves them. And so Gib, being the funny guy he is and has a sense of humor, he starts laughing while the other three in the car are basically appalled by it. And so he calls Allison repressed for not wanting to have any fun or just being uptight. So she ends up flashing her boobs to the same vehicle, but unbeknownst to them, there is a cop behind them. They get pulled over. The driver gets many tickets, and so he kicks them out. And so they're forced to hitchhike to California. But first, they go their separate ways. But eventually, Allison decides to follow Gibb for many reasons, but most part is she didn't want to be alone. Eventually, these two strike up a friendship, but along the way, they meet a lot of interesting characters. One of my favorite scenes, actually, my favorite scene in this movie, is when Gibb decides to go out drinking uh, because him and Allison had a little tiff, and basically he heard her on the phone with her boyfriend, and so he went to go to a bar to drink, and he meets these two guys. He buys them rounds of beers and everything. They're having a blast, and he comes back to the hotel room drunk. From there, she forgets her credit cards, or not her credit cards, but her money and her book, where she writes a lot of day-to-day things into. But they're okay because she does have a credit card to help get them along and get a place to stay overnight. But eventually, she wants to buy bus tickets to finish getting them to California. Uh, but I'm not going to go into any more details, though. I don't want to spoil any more of the movie. But like I said, they meet a lot of interesting characters, a lot of crazy stuff along the way. But it is a fun road trip, romantic comedy, and I have a blast with this movie. John Cusack um, and Daphne Zuniga give great performances. I love the side characters. Anthony Edwards is perfect playing Lance. I wish he had more lines in the movie, uh, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. But I love this movie. It is a perfect example of a great 80s rom com. So, of course, I'm going to give The Sure Thing, and it's going to stay the same grade, of a 10 out of 10 and 2 thumbs up. I highly recommend you check out The Sure Thing. If you haven't seen it, it is a phenomenal movie. You will laugh your ass off, and you'll have a great time with it. So in the comment section below, if you've seen this movie, give me your thoughts and opinions. And do you think this is Rob Reiner's best work as a director? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe today for more content. If you like this review, hit that like button. But stay tuned for one more movie review as part of my Throwback Thursday movie reviews. I thank you guys for watching, and check you later.